Thank you very much for the constant raising I've just received. It's been very, very interesting. But what I'd really like to do is put a good word in for Brisbane bus drivers. I have noticed every day, every time I go to my seat in the bus when I get on, I can see them look, they must be trained. They're looking in the rear vision mirror waiting for you to sit down before they start. On leaving the bus, I even got told off by an eager young bus driver because I stood up to leave before the bus stopped. So I really got into trouble with him. So I think our bus drivers are very, very good. Thank you very much.
Wow, fantastic. I would like to bring some of your bus drivers to Rio so that they can train ours, because they're not doing that well. Conversely, the other day I had an experience that was very interesting. I got into a bus in Copacabana, and this old lady came and looked at this girl, young girl, 16 maybe, and said, "Could you please get up? This seat is for me. Can't you see? It is especially for older people. What are you doing there?" And the girl immediately stood up. This is a rights-based approach. There is a law in Brazil, and the government has enacted many laws with this right-based approach. It's not an option for you to give your seat to an older person. It is in the law. It is a rights-based approach that will tell you, if you are young, you have to respect, and this place is for older people. And sometimes, I'm afraid to say this, you need these laws, because not all the bus drivers are that civilized as yours in Brisbane are.
The attitude of towards older people in other countries similar to the attitudes that we encounter here in Australia, where it's very difficult for older people to get work because they're seen as being old age as being up to their use by date, and a lot of these people can be productive. A lot of people don't seem to realise that that's the case, and so from an economic point of view, from the country's point of view, they contribute towards the economy, but also very much help themselves either financially or because they want to remain active in the workforce. So do these attitudes exist in other countries as well?
It's going to change. I can't offer you good examples because, as I said, it all depends on culture. But it's going to change for a very good reason. Do you know what is your fertility rate today in Australia? It's below replacement level. And it has been for a long time. You have two options. You can either import more immigrants, and I hear and see in the papers that the attitude is not that favorable, although this is a country of immigrants, except for the original population. All of you will have 1 or 2 or 3 grandparents that came from other countries, and yet sometimes people forget to be proud about that. Or they say, "Oh, no, my parents were not immigrants, they came from Britain." So, well, that is one option. The other is to make best and better use of the manpower that you have. And this is by prolonging the life, the working life of those that have the experience, and if they are willing to continue to work. But for that, it's absolutely indispensable, the 2 first pillars of active aging: good health and lifelong learning. Because if you stop learning at the age of 30 or 40 or 50, if you're not given opportunities in your society to acquire new knowledge and new skills, you'll be redundant at 25. I know people that haven't learned since I finished my medical degree so many years ago. Had I finished my learning at that point, I wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be interested to listen to this Brazilian doctor. Something I must have learned to make me not redundant and relevant to society. So these are the two keys. You need to be in good health, and you need, by and large, and you need to have the skills to continue to compete in the workforce. And people don't want at 60 or 65 or even at 50 for someone to tap on their shoulders and say, guess what, I have good news. You are going to have another 5 years of your very boring job because we want you to continue to work. No, it has to be done with sensitivity, with the assurances that we are going to reinvent life course. Now that we are living 30, 35, 40 years more, we will need to reinvent society. That is my hope with my generation, the adolescents, that we are going to reinvent the opportunities to give people at younger age, younger adults, to have longer periods of maternity and paternity leave so that they can raise children. Don't we need more children? Well, let us invent a society that will give this opportunity. And then opportunities for you to take a sabbatical at 35, to do a master's degree at 45, to reinvent yourself at 55, to start a new career, and then you will be excited to continue to work until you are 70, 75, and everybody's gain. Because for every 3 older people that continue to work, you are creating the wealth to open a new vacancy at the bottom of the pyramid for a younger person. Everybody gains, and any society, certainly Australia, given this demographic imperative in which we are, we need to use more wisely the resources that we have. And among the resources, definitely older people and their skills.
Thank you, Alex. And on that very positive note, thank you very much for coming today. This is the first in a series of talks that COTA will be hosting over the coming years, and I'd like you now to join me in thanking Alex once again.
Thank you. Thank you. You'll call me in 5 years to show me how wonderful the age-friendly Queensland is going.